Hello and welcome to another edition of Jamaica Magazine, the show that keeps you abreast of all the positive developments coming out of our beautiful island. November is Youth Month, and today we'll be highlighting an initiative for youth delivered by the youth. Then later we'll introduce you to a young woman who is making her mark in the agricultural sector. I'm Arroyo, and I'll have her story and other fascinating features in today's lineup, so don't move a muscle.
The Ebola virus is transmitted through direct contact with an infected person's blood or other bodily fluids like saliva, urine, stool, and semen. Symptoms of Ebola include sudden fever, intense weakness, muscle pain, headache, and sore throat. This may be followed by vomiting, diarrhea, and rash, and in some cases both internal and external bleeding, leading to death. Protect yourself. Avoid travel to Ebola-affected countries. Avoid contact with infected persons. Don't touch the body of someone who has died from Ebola. Wash hands frequently with soap and water and use an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. To know more, call 1-888-663-5683.
Good day, I'm Tamara McHale, and this is your GIS News for Monday, November 10. Parents of primary and high school students can look forward to a significant drop in the price for school supplies in the coming years. Technology State Minister Julian Robinson says the ministry's Tablets in Schools pilot project will eventually reduce textbook expenses.
All the content in the textbooks will be loaded on the tablets, so the parents won't have to spend $20,000 or $30,000 buying the textbooks every year. They will have the textbooks online, and that is a significant saving for all of the parents as well.
Clancarty Primary recently became the latest school to benefit from the tablets program when the ministry handed over 960 devices. They are among 25,000 students from 38 schools who will benefit from the $1.4 billion pilot project. Portfolio Minister Philip Paulwell has called on parents to support the initiative to ensure that all 600,000 students across the island can benefit from the technology.
We'll provide the internet facilities in the establishment, but as we look to expanding, and we can't expand in a way that it will take us 10 years. No. Our pitney need the thing now. We need to have it in their hands as quickly as possible.
Youth Minister Lisa Hanna says the recently launched Transitional Living Program for children in state care will give girls a sense of security as they enter adulthood. Under the project, 40 girls in state-run homes will participate in an exit readiness program upon reaching age 18.
I am so pleased that this will be another addition in our ring of opportunities to quell their anxiety, because there's nothing worse than an insecure woman who is anxious going into a society having to fend for herself. She gets into trouble.
The program focuses on job and life skills, training and mentorship, and will be executed by the UWI Open Campus Caribbean Child Development Center in partnership with the Child Development Agency. The $1.3 million initiative is being funded through the United States Agency for International Development Grants Initiative. The Transport Authority is strengthening its monitoring and enforcement activities to increase discipline and order in public transportation. As part of this drive, the authority has added 61 newly trained route inspectors to its inspectorate division.
Our organized transportation system is critical so that schools can operate. A transportation system is critical such that work can get going. It's important for social activity, interaction.
The Transport and Works Minister was addressing the inspectors at their graduation ceremony held at the National Police College of Jamaica in Twickenham Park, St. Catherine. They are the first cohort to be trained at the NPCJ headquarters. Dr. Davies said the course was not a one-off event, but rather part of the overall plan to systematically improve the quality of the human resource. The National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, is currently rolling out a number of platforms to improve its customer service. Among them is the Amanda system, an electronic tracking system that will allow applications to the agency to be tracked online. Director of NEPA's Spatial Planning Division, Leonard Francis, says it will also simplify the application process and cut response times to a maximum of 90 days.
Amanda is a tool basically in which every customer, as long as you have your unique tracking number, you can actually see what is happening with your application. That's one area. So there'll be less need for you to actually visit the agency to find out exactly what's happening.
NEPA has also increased the number of enforcement officers and has established a Development Assistance Center. And finally, the National Land Agency NLA has been honored as a leader in public sector innovation and customer service by the US-based news and technology company Thomson Reuters. The NLA recently received Reuters' 2014 Public Sector Champions Award from among its more than 1,000 government customers worldwide. While speaking at a recent GIS think tank, Thomson Reuters Vice President Donald Peel said the NLA had become an example for others across the world to emulate.
What's exciting is that as an information technology company, the innovation that's developed here in Jamaica is something that we can then incorporate in our platform and take around the world. And so that other countries can benefit from the work that Jamaica is doing.
And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Tamara McHale. Thank you for watching.
There is no vaccine for the chikungunya virus. If you've been infected, take paracetamol such as Panadol, Cetamol, and Tylenol to reduce pain and fever. Sleep under mosquito netting and get plenty of rest. Take showers or sponge baths in room temperature water to lower fever, especially in children, and drink lots of fluids to prevent dehydration. If your symptoms worsen, go and see a doctor. Do not take aspirin as this could cause bleeding, and never use rubbing alcohol. To learn more, call 1-888-1-LOVE. That's 1-888-663-5683.
One lucky Jamaican student will be taking up a 4-year full scholarship to Lafayette College in the U.S. state of Pennsylvania next September, thanks to Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller. Here are the details of that story plus others in this week's Jamaica House Weekly.
€46 million support for Jamaica's growth agenda. Government supports third staging of grassroots football program, and former Senate President laid to rest. I'm Stacey Ann Smith with your Jamaica House Weekly update. The Prime Minister last week thanked the European Union for its support of the island's growth agenda following the launch of the 2014 to 2020 European Development Fund. Valued at €46 million, the program is geared towards supporting Jamaica's Vision 2030 national development goals. The bulk of the funds, €23 million, will go towards creating a secure, cohesive and just society through improvements in the justice system. The environment and climate change, public financial management and support of civil society are also covered under the National Indicative Program.
We thank our EU partners and we commit to playing our part to the timely and efficient implementation of these vital programs to 2020.
Prime Minister Simpson Miller advised the Governor-General last week to issue the necessary proclamation for the holding of an election in central Westmoreland. Electors in that constituency will go to the polls on December 1. November 12 is nomination day. The by-election became necessary following the death of Member of Parliament Roger Clark back in August. And on the weekend, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller journeyed to Hanover, where she welcomed the Friends of Hanover Health Mission. The project, which runs from November 8 to 14, will see scores of residents receiving free medical and dental services from 30 US-based doctors. The medical delegation led by Dr. Kenneth Jones will also be performing major surgeries at the Cornwall Regional and Falmouth hospitals.
Your collaboration with the Western Regional Health Authority is an example of the kind of partnerships which are important in strengthening Jamaica's public health system. It reinforces the importance of taking critical services to the people in the various communities where they live.
Organized by the Most Honorable Errol Miller, the 2014 Hanover Medical Mission is sponsored by a number of entities, including the Ministry of Tourism, Digicel and Dolphin Cove. Prime Minister Simpson Miller hosted a visiting executive from the Lafayette College in the United States who was in the island to interview scholarship candidates. The 4-year scholarship, valued at $64,000, was established in the Prime Minister's honor in May. Mr. Simpson Miller received an honorary Doctor of Public Service degree from the Pennsylvania-based college this year. She commended the school for its interest in Jamaica's development. Minister without portfolio responsible for sport, Natalie Nita Headley, brought government support to the recent launch of the Digicel JFF grassroots football program. In its third staging, the project now includes the island's Special Olympics football team. Mrs. Nita Headley had encouraging words for the hundreds of 6 to 11-year-olds who took part in the training camp.
Enjoy the experience. Yes, competition is good. Wanting to win every time is good, but enjoy the experience. What you'll learn and take away from this program, you'll have with you for a lifetime. Everything you learn here will prove to be significant to you as you go through your life's experiences, as you go to Manning Cup and the Costa Cup, and perhaps even on to the national team.
The children who were selected from across the island were taught the fundamentals of the sport, including ball control, dribbling, kicking, and team dynamics.
To everything, there is a season and a time to every purpose under the heaven.
Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller participating in the Thanksgiving service for former President of the Senate, Syringa Marshall Burnett. The official funeral was held on November 6th at the University Chapel of the UWI Mona campus. Mrs. Marshall Burnett passed away on October 10 at age 79. And Minister without portfolio responsible for sport, Natalie Nita Headley, expressed condolences to the government, people and national football team of South Africa on the tragic passing of Senzo Meyiwa. The 27-year-old goalkeeper and captain of the South African national football team was shot and killed during a robbery on October 26.
We just want to express our condolences and to let them know that we are with them.
And that's it for Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next time for the latest developments in the office of the Prime Minister.
Welcome to the FSC Minute. I am Nadine Newsom. Today we explore anti-money laundering and its implications for the FSC regulated sectors. And joining me is Lorice Edwards-Brown, Director of Investigations and Enforcement at the FSC. Welcome to the FSC Minute, Lorice.
Thank you, Nadine.
What is money laundering?
The goal of most criminal activity is to generate a profit. So in order to enjoy these ill-gotten gains, criminals often seek to disguise the source of these funds. So the process by which the criminals seek to put these ill-gotten gains into legitimate source of business or into investments is what is called money laundering.
And what role does the FSC play as it relates to anti-money laundering laws?
The FSC is mandated by Section 62F of the Financial Services Commission Act to put into place measures to reduce the possibility of its regulated sectors, that is the pension sector, the insurance industry, or the securities industry, from being involved in any activity or in any offense relating to money laundering. The FSC seeks to implement such measures to reduce or to mitigate the risk concerning money laundering or financing of terrorism. And when these risks are identified, these measures will seek to alleviate the risks.
Does the FSC provide specific instructions to institutions regarding the procedures to put in place for anti-money laundering compliance?
No, the FSC does not. The FSC is a gatekeeper for the industry, and what we seek to do is to get the industry to work to find out what is it that they need to do to implement measures that can safeguard their own entities from being used into using schemes for money laundering activities.
Thank you, Lorice. My guest today was Lorice Edwards-Brown, Director of Investigations and Enforcement at the FSC. For the FSC Minute, I am Nadine Newsom.
We here at the JIS salute our youth who are helping to make a difference in our communities. Some, like the group in this next feature, have been working to uplift the youth in at-risk communities. Watch this.
Manifesto Jamaica is a youth-led, arts-focused organization that advocates for youth empowerment through art and culture.
If we are able to even help one youth, then we have succeeded in what we have set out to do. So that's why I'm a part of Manifesto Jamaica.
I think a lot of the youth don't realize that there are so many avenues to creating wealth and really true happiness once you tap into your talent and your creative energies.
Educate, expose, empower. That's the mantra of the EU-funded, JSIF-supervised and STC-supported art and culture program, Manifesto Jamaica. Since its inception in 2009, the group has been working overtime to motivate youth in and around the Kingston metropolitan region.
Our target group is so-called inner city or disadvantaged youth between the ages of 10 and 25 years old. So we do a lot of workshops, training programs. We also host several community-based events and entertainment-focused events that provide a platform for exposure for the young artists and other talents that we find in the communities that we work in.
Manifesto Jamaica reaches its target audience through workshops and capacity-building activities that promote the arts. Under its culinary arts umbrella, the group provides the youngsters with information about healthy eating, giving live demonstrations and promoting backyard farming. Manifesto Jamaica's literary arts arm features workshops, guiding participants from concept to the execution of poems, plays, and dub poetry. Discipline, physical movement, and creating a well-rounded individual are the points of focus for the group's martial and spiritual arts workshops.
That's where we really focus on developing the person. So that umbrella includes everything from yoga to wellness, mental wellness, spiritual wellness. Through that umbrella, we seek to do different activities, different self-exploration activities that kind of help one to reconnect with oneself.
Performing arts sees the group exposing the youth to dance and music, and not just the creative side of things, but also the business aspect of these creative industries. Manifesto Jamaica's visual arts workshops tap into painting, drawing, fashion designing, and filmmaking. An equally important aspect of the group's work is advocacy.
So Manifesto Jamaica's advocacy platform is the branch that does the research that informs how we design our programs, what programs we choose to present, and basically assesses the needs within the creative industries, the youth interests as far as creative pursuits are concerned. And that's also the platform that seeks to engage the relevant stakeholders in dialogue.
The beneficiaries of the project have been singing its praises.
Kids are at home and not doing anything today. I just decided to bring them all out. It's educational, it's informative, and it's physical activities. So it's refreshing.
I just decided to come out to get the experience and see what was happening. It has been good so far. I've learned something. And I appreciated some yoga practices that they were taught, and then dance and martial arts and the whole ethnicity and how it relates to us.
We want to gain exposure and learn the different forms of art and culture that we weren't exposed to, like the Brazilian capoeira, the form of martial arts. So we're here and we're getting a lot of experience in the different fields of culture.
The lifeblood of this youth-led initiative is volunteerism.
Volunteering has always been something that I've been doing from very small. So it was just that spirit of giving to others that helped to fulfill my self-worth.
Greatest thing for me, especially when we come to places like Augustown and we go to places like Seaview, it is the exposure to see something new, to see something different, to see that people actually care. Because even that is the simplest thing.
Manifesto Jamaica is primarily funded by the young people who run the organization.
And that spirit of giving has not been lost on some of the participants, as they now have become full-time volunteers, helping to continue the project.
Being a part of it and helping out, trust me, it's sweet.
If you want to be on the giving or receiving end of Manifesto Jamaica's Youth Empowerment Initiative, you can do so by giving them a call, 567-4779, sending an email to manifestojamaica@gmail.com, or you can visit their website at www.manifestojamaica.com. Remember, no act of kindness, no matter how small, is ever wasted. This has been the Arts Page.
Our focus is on the youth in November, which, by the way, is also Eat Jamaican Month. Up next, the story of a young woman who's passionate about agriculture.
Did you know that a goat eats 3 times more than a cow? Didn't know. Me either. Well, my name is Amanda Forbes, and today I'll be sharing some information with you about goat care and management. Now follow me. Well, this is my grandfather's goat pen, and this is where I learned, well, some of the things that I learned about for goat care and management, and I'll be teaching you more about the goats in this pen. They're very friendly. Well, this pen was created like this, and it has lots of holes inside of the caves because goats love rocky area to get exercise in, right? So when they go up inside the pen, it protects them from the rain, and they get a lot of exercise because they're actually going up and down on the hillsides. And they actually love this type of environment where they can interact with each other. You can actually tell the age of a goat by its teeth, and especially when it has the first 2 front teeth pop out, you know that it's 1 year old. But when it starts to get spaced, you can actually tell the age. But when it has no teeth, you can actually know that it's months old. It's not really a year old, it's very young, despite how big they seem.
Only 15 years of age, Amanda already has a wealth of knowledge in the care and management of goats. And in addition to being mentored by her grandfather, she has learned some of this information from her association with the Jamaica 4-H Club. In engaging hundreds of clubites through schools across the island, the 4-H Club is grooming youngsters like Amanda to pursue agriculture as a viable career option, and she's a believer.
Well, I would like to go to the University of the West Indies, UWI, and I would like to try to follow in the career of biotechnology and in veterinary service of caprine. Caprine is the veterination of goats, as I said before, and I would like to do biotechnician. This is genetic engineering.
Amanda's passion to care for animals started when she was much younger. She could be seen caring for her dogs when they were hurt.
I used to have these medicines in the house that I would actually treat them with. Then Grandpa would say, no, let her treat them myself, because he had the treatment for them.
This young St. Anne resident and student of Foreign Court High School is destined for great things in the future. But today, she's our teacher.
Do you know how to select a goat? Well, I'll teach you about that. For, you say, a doe, you make sure that she's sturdy on the legs, just like that one over there. See the one standing on the stone? Sturdy on the legs, but you should have a wide barrel and a well-developed chest. And make sure that the udder is well attached, the big and tender and soft udders, so the kids can actually get some nice milk from it. In preparation for breeding, actually, you should expose the does to fresh pastures, fresh green pastures, so you can get lots of succulent plants. Then afterwards, you give it like 1 to 2 pounds of 12 to 16% CP, that is concentrated protein from the industries. Then you deworm and delouse them, and then you give them some vitamin supplements so they can be sturdy and well, very active, so they can get to do what they want to do, you know what I mean?
This natural talent comes also the comedic side to Amanda, which she uses to entertain her friends.
When I'm down like this, they make me smile like this. But they said, you sure you don't want to do a thing? They said you could fit in, and I said,
There are 3 things that matter most to Amanda.
I love school, and I love my best friends, really. And I enjoy working with animals very much.
So much is that love for the care of animals that she was awarded the Jamaica 4-H Club Championship Trophy for Goat Care and Management at the 2014 National Expo. She is now the national representative in this category. With this knowledge and that which she will acquire in her future studies as a veterinarian, Amanda hopes to help her grandfather with his goats. And there are other plans.
And I would like to apply to the Japanese embassy for the scholarship that they're offering, and then I would like to get a job over there and here if it's possible. Then I could actually promote the industry of goat production from Jamaica to Japan.
And so in her spare time, she reads manga, a Japanese comic that helps her to learn the language and culture. Amanda's forward-thinking approach is one that's embraced by the government, as it positions the agriculture sector for growth and sets up a promising future for the youth.
Given the youth's willingness to adapt to new ideas, concepts and technology, it goes without saying that the future of agriculture in Jamaica resides with our young people.
Oh, one more thing I forgot to mention. In a pen, you should make sure that the feeders are designed in a way so to discourage the goats from stepping on the feeds or fecal contamination. And you should make sure that when they are going out to a pasture, I would recommend that the pasture have like grassland like this. I wouldn't like them to actually grow on the ground because you're actually risking the goats to ingest worms, and you wouldn't like that because this will formulate in a loss later on.
The youths, positioning themselves to make a difference and continue the growth in agriculture.
Parenting can be a difficult yet very rewarding endeavor. A parent is charged with the main responsibility of providing financial, emotional, and physical support for their children. But raising a child can be very stressful. Financial constraints, an absent spouse, lack of social support, or a myriad of other reasons. Parents, don't despair. If you're feeling stressed, frustrated, or confused, ask for help. There's no shame in it. Reach out to a counselor, a family friend, or pastor, or call the parenting hotline at 1-888-991-5121 or 977-6738. Remember, although a parent is the main caregiver, it takes a village to raise a child. So play your part in safeguarding the children in your community as we continue on our mission to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business. And that's how we bring the curtains down on another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Be sure to join us tomorrow, same time, same station for more feel-good stories. Have questions or queries? Email us jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Want to be up to date on government news, reviews, and interviews? Click on our website, jis.gov.jm, like our Facebook page, or visit our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire team here at the JIS, I'm Arroya Eubanks. Thank you for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.